Do you have a bit to do at the beginning of this one?
Restart it.
You want to do it? You want to do a bit at the beginning?
I didn't know we were going.
I did
have a.
Oh, you did have a bit?
Not a bit, but I was going to say.
Hey, everybody, welcome to a new episode of Your Short is Okay.
No.
The most meta bit was that we were talking about a bit. That's got to be the best one.
Can we start over?
Put that in the best. Yeah. That's part of the bit where you're like, can we start it over? Can we start over?
Start it over. I don't like this.
It's a new episode of Your Short is Okay.
Bits being like apparent to the audience. I want it to be improv.
And today we're talking, we're going to be watching a movie, A Request.
I was actually going to say,
what?
I was going to say, do you remember that thing in like early SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs was like, blah, him. SpongeBob was like, ah! Yeah, that's my bit. Go fuck your bit. That's
a good, all right, that's a good one. Yeah, so we're doing a request. Someone asked us to watch their short film. I don't know why anybody would do that within their right mind, but here we are. The name of the film it's apparently by a Mexican filmmaker. I'm pretty sure they're Mexican. If they're not Mexican, then this is super racist. But the name of the film is called.
How is it racist?
Oh, because they could be from another Spanish country, and we're just calling them Mexican.
Oh, I thought you were saying like they could be racist.
Oh no, we could be racist because we don't. Because if they're not Mexican, yeah.
Oh, by the way, that's Justin. I'm Hudson.
Yes, I'm Justin. He's Hudson.
Hey, that kind of rhymes. I never noticed that.
So the name of the film we're watching today is No Es Lo Que Parece. So let's go ahead and read this synopsis, Hudson. Shut the fuck up and read the synopsis.
Okay.
God damn
also, No Es Lo Que Parece means it's not what it seems.
Yep.
Okay. A married man with cheating history meets a lovely young woman, but neither of them is what they seem to be.
Ooh, period. Festival de Cine Universitario Prisma official selection. Cool.
Okay, a bunch of names. Oh wait, let's go down a bit.
Let's see who
the director and writer Jose Rico.
Yeah, director and writer Jose Rico. So today we're going to be watching this. And we'll have the link below in the description so you can watch it with us.
Yeah, we'll also clap when we play as a slate so you guys can sync it up better.
Yeah, we've been having problems syncing up videos in the past, so now we're gonna be clapping. Oh wait, don't you dare!
Slap.
But yeah, we'll clap to when I press play, and then we'll have the exact time that we press play so you can watch it with us at exactly the right time. All right, so when I say go, I'll say 3, 2, 1, go, and then you can clap with me as I press play. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're gonna full screen this if I'm not a fucking idiot. There we go.
Also, I want to make it clear that just because you should probably turn it down a bit.
It's so loud.
I want to make it clear that just because we're making jokes, we're still paying attention, we could still be enjoying everything. We just like to make jokes, like even if we're watching a fucking masterpiece. So
yeah, we just make jokes. We're just good at multitasking. Look at this guy's ring, dude. He's a married man.
He is married.
I don't know that that's true. I don't know, like, which side do you wear the ring?
Doesn't matter. It's the ring finger. If it's on the ring finger, you're fucking married.
Oh, I didn't know.
As if it's a band.
This is an interesting shot. It's coming from outside the window.
Handheld.
That's fun.
It's kind of weird framing.
Yeah.
With her like head.
Yeah, I can't like see her correctly. What's she making? Coffee? Un café, por favor?
Yeah. Probably like a.
Probably like a what?
I was gonna say, I was like a quesadilla or something.
You're actually an idiot. All right. Dude, I like her hair. It looks like it's dyed. Ooh, pretty. Aw, dude, this guy's going to work. He's tired of this shit already.
I guess we didn't look to see if there was like a budget or anything, or if this is like a student film.
Yeah, no, I have no idea.
Student film all the way. I've seen enough student films. I think this is a student film, or just a no budget film.
Okay. Well, there was like a production thing at the beginning, so there's some production.
Every student film,
company,
like most of the time,
they'll make something up. Yeah. Like, I know that, but I just thought, I wasn't sure. Dude, using Windows Media Player in 2017 to look at some photos.
I actually have to use VLC sometimes because Media Player won't work on my laptop.
That's not a video; those are photos. Were you trying to read that?
Yeah, bunch of writing on the mug. And I don't read Spanish.
Here's some business. Oh yeah, we should make it clear. If there's no subtitles in this and they start talking, we'll be very confused.
We scrubbed ahead a few times just to see if there was any talking. We don't think there is.
Yeah.
It's just all music that sounds a little stock music-y.
Yeah,
but,
this is just a random acoustic guitar.
He's showing his business plan.
He got it. He got it.
He's so happy.
Dude, he's moving up in the world. Yeah. Oh, she makes photos.
She's gonna be like a stalker or something. It's implying that they're married, but you find out later on that it's not. She's actually kind of like obsessed with this guy.
Oh, good call. If that's not true at all, I get to make fun of you.
I think it's something like that where it's misleading. We're supposed to.
Well, I mean, the logline does say something will be misleading, so.
Oh, I didn't even remember the log line.
Yeah, I was like, they're not what they seem or whatever.
She's party.
She's a stalker, and you know what he is? He's probably like a hitman, you know?
I think he's just a normal guy, and he probably has a dead wife or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll actually go that far. I think we just don't see the wife, really. I think she'll be an unspoken character. What do you think he just thought about?
This looks like a tripod where they're moving it, and you can tell it's like shaking as it's moving.
And it's not level.
Yeah.
It's slanted, but...
Dude, maybe that's an artistic choice, so why don't you get over yourself?
Hi, doggy. I bet they weren't even supposed to be in the shot. They just ran in.
Yeah, dude.
That's totally what happened.
Hi, doggy. You went for the hi, doggy.
This guy's so, dude, he's just enjoying life.
Dude, this guy's just having a good day. You know, he got the promotion. I don't know if he got a promotion. He got the deal. He's selling things.
Holy shit, it's kind of creepy, because I bet none of those people knew that they were, like, on camera or anything.
Is this like Mexico City? By the way, I would say that no matter where this was filmed in Mexico, I would just randomly ask if this is Mexico City. So.
No, I think you're just racist.
Yeah.
See, wow, this is kind of creepy, dude. I don't think any of these people know that they're being filmed. Whatever. People are doing that every day on iPhones and shit. Who cares?
He's like, what the fuck is that? Oh, dude, some chick. Would bang is what he's thinking, I assume. Oh, he's going for the kill.
You know what's interesting is that it's been switching between ambient sound effects like chirping and but you'll still have them talk, but you don't hear them talking, but you're still hearing like the chirping.
Yeah.
Like it's
some
it's alternating.
Some sounds are diegetic and some aren't.
A little young for him, right?
Nice tie. Oh, it's going down. All right.
Huh.
Let the bullying commence. Huh.
Hey, look at this bench.
Here.
This is a bench.
Sit down at this bench while we initiate courting, as humans do. Ha. I am a successful man. With no hair. She's like, I agree. I too am not bald.
Nice. You'll see they create phone.
We usually
like phone?
We usually don't talk this much, but there's not any talking happening in the film, so we can just fill it with whatever.
Well, because we're understanding everything. Yeah, it's not like we're like missing anything.
Yeah, it's just like they're just.
Oh.
It's really coming together. It's hard to say if they know each other or not. I'm not sure.
No, they don't. They just met.
Yeah, but maybe they're just being
He just
weird.
Put her number on his phone.
Oh, okay, got it. Oh, okay. I did miss something because I was shitposting. See?
Well, I'm not.
Well, good.
I'm perfect.
You better keep an eye out because I'm shitposting still.
I'm perfect.
Uh-oh, night shot. Oh boy, shadows are coming in.
He has like the hitman suit, like from the video game.
Dude, it's like he turns and the shot, you see the back of his head, there's like a barcode on it. It's like, oh my god.
That would be awesome. That would be so cool. He's like, damn.
Damn, about to get some. That's it. About to get some.
Enchilada?
The hell did you say to me? He's about to eat ass like grass. Don't do that laugh ever again in your life. Martha,
hey, not too
I
fast.
love you. Hey, not yet. We have to pretend like we're not about to fuck.
It's like 90 degrees in here. It actually is kind of hot in here, though.
What's going on with you?
Oh god. Oh man, that.
Oh, she's going in. She's getting comfortable. You know. She's like, I'm gonna go get comfortable.
Here's where the where the mood
I'm
changes.
gonna stop. Yeah, it's gonna be like
the tonal shift.
Yeah, this is where we may or may not have saw a spoiler while we were scrubbing through.
I called it.
You called it.
I called it.
You called that shit. Oh my god. Oh, he knows she was cheating. She kills people who cheat. That's the dealio.
Wait, is that? Oh.
Because he was with like other women in the photos. No, he's shaking.
He's twitching.
I mean, it's very, very bad shaking.
No, he's twitching.
No, I think he's shaking. And...
Oh, wait, where is that stabbing into?
Oh, yeah, I think it's his back, I want to say.
It was kind of like a weird, it looked like it was dripping down, like
I don't know.
like as if his like chin, but we see his chin.
Oh, she's pretty happy about his death.
You bitch.
He's like, you fuck.
Oh, it's Jesus. I wonder if that's symbolic. It's just one picture.
It's
and it's
a picture
just
of
Jesus.
It's like Jesus' profile picture. He's like, give me that free ass ring, you cheating ass bitch.
Like, what if the cops came to her house and they just see these random pictures on the wall, and it's like, So she does this to a lot of people.
Oh, she's like a hitman for cheating men.
She's the hero we need.
She's the feminist icon we need.
Credits. Let's watch through the credits a little bit.
Dirigido
See some of the pictures.
Productores asociados. Dude, good try.
Mujer,
hombre.
They don't have names. That's funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
Man, woman.
Asistente.
I know that
director.
much.
Okay. So
no, I want to watch some.
You want to watch all these pictures that they came up? These are all the pictures that were on the wall, I assume.
Yeah. It's like,
he's like, don't fucking talk to me while I'm talking on the phone.
He's like, it seems to me like you're the expert.
All right, well, that's the end of that one. That's the end of no. What was it called?
It is not what it seems. Is the English.
It's not what it seems, is what we'll call it.
That's what the English.
I think it's no Es Lo Que Parece or something like that. Anyway, by what is his name? Jose Rico. Writer director Jose Rico, who I assume is the one who contacted us about this. Could be wrong.
Just some random.
Just some random fail.
Hey, I really like this one. Let's talk about it.
So yeah, we've what are some initial impressions you feel about this?
Well, right off the bat, we can't really, we can judge it, but we can't judge it as harshly as the other ones, because the other ones we've been doing are ones on like top websites, like top
they've
pages,
been picked by
they've been picked by people. They actually have a budget and a big crew, and this one had a crew, but you could tell I would definitely bet money that there was no money put into this. Just going off of my experience in student filmmaking and seeing a bunch of student films, there was obviously I won't say obviously in case I'm insulting anybody, but I don't think there was any lighting equipment really. I think they did everything natural.
I mean the night scenes look like they had like a floodlight or something like that going on the side. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
I actually don't even remember any night scenes. Are you talking about
the one where they get out the car? And it's like, you can see some harsh shadows going on because there's this there's light coming out from the side. That's probably
it, though.
Yeah.
Because everything else had really inconsistent lighting. Like, the color temperatures would change, like, from inside to outside. Right.
I think there might have been some very elementary lighting. Maybe not, maybe just not extremely well done. Maybe the DP wasn't experienced. Or maybe there wasn't a DP. I also don't think... I didn't see.
Sometimes it doesn't matter how good your lighting is if your camera isn't very good.
Yeah, it's also, it could have been a cheap look.
I think it was. I think it was a pretty cheap camera. I mean, it was just your typical, student film-esque, story. Like, you see a lot of these a lot where it tries to tonal shift and it has like some twist ending, but I could see it a mile away.
He literally predicted it as it was going.
I think it's because I think the title really didn't help. If it was something like even like a good date or something like that, like just something simple that like you can't really tell what it is, but it's not what it seems. You're constantly looking for what isn't what seems. So
I think the use of like this very happy music and birds chirping, and obviously then it takes that tonal shift at the very end. I think it's kind of like overdoing it a little bit. You're trying to sell like one mood a little too hard, and it kind of... Can you not make random noises that'll be caught on the mic? You son of a bitch.
Yeah, because your mic is so good. It'll pick that
up. Dude, I guarantee you it will. We'll go on the fucking
probably did.
But yeah, I just think he was trying to sell a little too much of that happy mood, and then there was no dialogue either, so it was very like the viewer doesn't have much to to play with as they're watching. And then when the tonal shift happens, it's like, well, I kind of expected that because the happy music and the birds chirping was just so in your face. It's a little too on the nose, I think. So, camera work, directing wise, how do you feel about like the camera work?
Not great. I mean, I don't think they had much time or any money to do anything cool, but it doesn't really take time or money to make sure that your tripod isn't tilted and not level.
Yeah, there was that issue with that one shot where it wasn't level.
Also, not a very good start when you have the camera that shot outside the window where it's like tracking her, and she stands behind the window, like the window pane is blocking her like body, and she stays there for like 10 or 15 seconds. That's not very it's not very good, but
yeah, you want to have like shots like that where if you're doing like say through a window shot, that where the actor in the blocking where the actor stops moving is going to be in the spot that's like framed correctly at the end of the shot. So
and it felt very run and gun. Like every outdoor scene, they probably didn't have any permit, so they were just filming, trying to do it without like many people noticing, and right. Like most of the people in the background, I'm sure
that might be why the
them,
level was wrong and stuff like that. Like they probably just like set up super quickly and just like started to hit record or something.
Yeah, because everyone around them, like those dogs, like I guarantee you, those dogs weren't supposed to be in the shot. They like
if those dogs were
shot.
Supposed to be in the shot, I would be very surprised. I think they might have just shown up, but it worked. I mean, it looked like a thing, at least for that scene. The beginning was very much, I don't know, it's very, what's the word, derivative. I mean, there's a lot of films that start with like people waking up and getting ready and the bathroom scene and blah, blah, blah. The alarm clock is a very, stereotypical one. So it's like, you don't want to start your short film that way. So if you can try to avoid it. One thing that I learned that I know is an important facet of storytelling is, come in late, leave early. Is a very important thing. So when you're making a scene and you want to start a movie, you should come in at the latest point you possibly can while still being able to tell the story, and then leave as early as possible in a scene. So the guy who made this, who requested this to us, just keep that in mind in your future films, because this film isn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Definitely, it's got some competence to it, and I think if you keep working at it, you can probably make some good stuff.
Yeah, I will say subtlety is the key. So the two things that gave away how I predicted everything was the close-up rack focus onto his wedding ring, and then her hobby where you see her looking at photos that you don't see the results of.
Yeah, in the red room.
If you took those two out, it would not have been as predictable to me. I probably still would have gotten it, honestly, because the title would have had me looking for a twist, and like the femme fatale twists are pretty common.
Yeah.
So that's my suggestion for that. Like, you could have cut those out, and
the editing was, I would say, probably not much time was put into editing because it seemed very jarring. A lot of the cuts seemed at weird places. Editing is something a lot of people underestimate. It's an art in itself to understand like the flow of how scenes should go, and then looking at the bigger picture, but also looking at like very small elements of scenes and making sure that cut happens at the exact right time. So like, I'm not sure, they probably had an editor, but I don't think he was a very experienced one. I mean, there's a chance that Jose Rico, maybe you yourself did it, but it's just a little all over the place there.
Yeah. Also, I think it was a more than an artistic thing. I think it was more that they didn't want to pay, or they didn't have access, or they just didn't want to deal with outside. Like, since everything was so run and gun, they didn't want to have sound equipment.
Yeah.
So there was no sound equipment for anything.
Yeah, that's
they probably just took a microphone for some birds, but you can't get in trouble for recording audio. You can get in trouble for recording somewhere you don't have a permit. So I'm sure that was not an artistic choice to just have it all music and sound effects.
Yeah, I think that was like, hey, this is one of our first films. We don't want to have to deal with sound. Like we had that same idea with one of our earlier ideas. We were like, hey, we're gonna make a film that literally has no dialogue, so we don't have to worry about it, and then tell a more like visual story.
Yeah, that was actually that was like two things, because stylistically I liked that more because I think it fit the tone of the story, but also some actors you might get like you can bend a lot more. Some people are really good at facial expressions and emoting, but they're not so good at delivering lines. So that would have worked around that thing.
Yeah.
But this I think it's actually it does kind of show some smarts to him, at least, because he wrote something that he knew he could shoot.
Yeah, playing around your limits is definitely a good skill to have.
Because I've seen so many where it's like they don't have the technology for that, but they'll still have a shit ton of lines like outside or something, and there's this consistent.
There's this cunty.
There's this consistent. Stan says you're a cunt. There's this consistent like audio problem where
everything sounds like shit.
Well, no, but like shots will not go with each other. So like you'll have one where like the birds are making another sound, and then it cuts to like a close up of someone else, and it's just like completely like noiseless.
Right.
That's like really common in student filmmaking, because audio is one of the hardest things when you don't have a budget. So
yeah. Let's see. We talked about camera work. Let's talk about what was the other thing that we talked about? Story. We talked about the story. It was kind of a bit predictable. I mean, very predictable. I mean, you predicted it. I had some ideas, and one of them were very serious to Hudson, but I kind of was hoping for something like a little crazy, like to go just absolutely nuts. Didn't happen, but that's fine.
It's just really hard to judge this, knowing that this was like not to insult him. It looked like his first thing.
Yeah.
It looks like he goes to a school with some equipment that he could rent, and so he did what he could.
And Hudson knows this because he goes to a school right now, and he's been involved at least, and then at least has seen films that are made this exact way. If this is a student film, if this is your first try, I would say this is a decent first try. Yeah. Not the best thing ever, but if this is your second try or third try, it's a little worrying, but you could learn. You learn from everything. So
yeah, and I would be interested to see how Jose does, how you do, Jose, if you're listening,
if you're really Jose Rico,
how if you get a budget or something, or you get more experience with a budget, I'd be interested to see how your style is, because this is more like, I can't gauge how talented you are. Mm-hmm. Like, this is like, you kind of know what you're talking about in terms of like, you made a script that you knew you could shoot, and you edited a thing together, but a lot of people can do that. So I'm not really sure. Like, you might have some super hidden secret fucking talent, and you're like a great filmmaker, but you just didn't have the resources or time to do it. So I mean,
you can see a little bit of that. Like, in some of the shots, he was obviously looking for something interesting, like as a way to shoot it. Like, it's more than just like, oh, here's subject A, subject B, we have it in frame, that's the shot. Like, I can tell that he was trying some new stuff, like with a lot of the shots, and I can respect that. And also, just looking at the subject matter of the film, it's like, that he's you kind of, maybe we know a little bit like what he's interested in, which is like, this is just like a standard thriller. If you could, bring this up to scale for like a Hollywood level thing, I mean, these kind of thrillers, the psychological thrillers, or even just like action thrillers, if that's what you're interested in, I mean, this is like the bread and butter of a lot of the industry. I mean, these mid-budget thriller things, and you can make a lot of money making those. So if you actually like making those kind of movies, like, there's definitely a future for you, because people like me and Hudson, like, we like psychological stuff, but we're not really interested in doing like regular thriller things. So, I mean, you're the one if you get super good, you're the one who's going to be making money, not us, because this is actually a big money maker if you like it.
I always tell Justin I'm more of a chameleon. I like to experiment in a lot of stuff, so I could do a thriller. I just
are you trying to compete with him now?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, why don't you
don't put me in your fucking psychological box. My dude, I just like to turn stuff. I just like to turn stuff on his tables. Every now and then.
Yeah, we're waiting for Hudson's version of Taken to come out.
It's funny you said that. I was like thinking of Taken as I was talking about it, but like I would have done it a little bit more non-conventional. Like still have this basic thing, but something kind of more happened towards the end because that movie's pretty simple, but it's good. So people liked it, people made money, so whatever.
All right, we're coming in on the end here, so we can go ahead and do the old too long, didn't watch. So what do you think of the good and bad? I guess I'll go first with the good. The good, you had some... Feel like what?
No, I just feel like we kind of like went over everything already, but...
yeah. We can just really quickly recap. You had some pretty decent... Jose Rico had some pretty creative... attempt at creative shots. The story was solid. Obviously, there's nothing technically wrong with the story that you were telling, and that's actually a pretty big deal. There's a lot of amateur films that like that shit doesn't make any sense, or it just doesn't read well, or watch well, I guess. So yeah, you had a solid story. You told the story that you wanted to tell. The characters, we didn't really know anything about them, so it's hard to say anything about them. They're fairly static, but. Yeah, you did just a competent job at least executing the film with it seemed like what you had, at least, because we're going off that you seem to have a very limited budget and limited resources, which is why you filmed it the way you did. Obviously, a lot of work could be done, but yeah, we're going to go into the bad. What do you think, Hudson?
Like I said, it's just kind of hard to tell. Judging it as like a thing, but I guess that's what you have to do in these situations.
Yeah.
Like, because then they won't get better unless he knew everything he did wrong, but he just didn't have the time or money to make it better.
Right.
Predictable story. Technically, everything was kind of like. I guess I can't say everything because there was no on-set sound.
Mm-hmm.
The music was stock sounding. I don't really even think it really... I think it was a little too lighthearted, like, in the beginning. Like, I know you were going for that tonal shift, but, it wasn't fooling anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird to go from acoustic to synth, like, within a second. Acting was not great, but I'm assuming these actors are just kind of,
Yeah.
The girl looked like she probably had recently started acting and she's trying to build up a portfolio. Some of the shots were okay, but it really seemed like there was non-existent lighting, so no shot was really that good. It just sustained what it needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try a little bit more dynamic, try a hi-hat. Try baby legs. Try something without it being on eye level with the subject.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more dynamic, and that's pretty much it. It's just
it's kind of hard to say what's bad because like we know it seems very obvious you were a student film, so it's like we can't say the cinematography was shit because it's like we know what resources you're working with. If we were comparing it to like the other short films that we review, this is unfortunately far below those technically. But so I guess
which isn't even fair. Because, those had like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and even then, some of them were really bad.
Yeah.
So you have the potential, as every filmmaker does, to become better and make something really great. So let's go ahead and hit up the ratings, and how we rate is we do it out of 10. 5 is average, above 5 is above average, below 5 is below average, and that's how we like it. And if you don't like it, then you can fuck me up. So I guess I'll go first. If 5 is average, this is unfortunately not, in my opinion, an average level film. It's a little bit below average. I am looking at the framing of this, the context being that it's a student film. So among student films, I would say, if I thought about among student films, it might be average. So it's hard to say. I think I would give it maybe a 4 or 5, I guess, depending on the context. If I'm talking about like if this is legitimately a student film, we don't know that. If this is legitimately a student film, I'd probably give it like a 5. If this is not a student film, I'd probably give it a 4 or maybe even lower, depending on like what level of filmmaking you're at right now. So it's hard to say. So yeah, 4 or 5. It had some things going for it, but technically it was all over the place. The story was pretty predictable, so some things, like there, a few things were good, a few things had potential, but unfortunately it didn't reach those heights. What do you think, Hudson?
Yeah, if I were going off of, if you were comparing it to other student films, I'd probably put it about 4 or 5. Definitely a little bit below average than other student films, but a lot of student films suck. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of shitters. So.
But if we're going off of just judging it as it is, I would give it honestly about a 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just in
as a film in general. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like I still respect that you try to do a little twist, but it's like this is coming from someone who sees that shit like in every student film. So
yeah,
and I really fucking hope this was a student film because it would be extremely insulting. unless you're just a guy trying to make stuff and you're not in school.
Yeah, if you're not in school,
that would actually
that's actually impressive. On some sense,
I wouldn't say that, but I would say that it could actually be seen more as a compliment to you.
Yeah.
That you'd be grouped in with people who actually like pay and like go to school and are trained in this shit, and you're just some guy. So it could go both ways.
Yep. Yeah. So it was I hope you can maybe, I don't know if you'll ever respond to this because you might hate us by now because we've only brought you down, but hopefully you've listened to some of our criticisms.
I think you could have learned a lot.
Yeah, I think you can learn a lot from this. We try to give you some constructive stuff. We don't want to just look. We love shitting on bad films, but if you're one of our listeners and you give us a film, we want to help you because we love you.
Also, even if you didn't send it in, I'd still be lenient depending on the circumstances.
Yeah, you do have to always take context into it.
I can clearly see that there wasn't really much money put into this, so I have to keep that in mind too.
Yeah.
I like to shit on ones that have like thousands of dollars put in and still suck.
Like Clownface.
Yeah. So
okay, so that'll be the end of this episode of Your Short Is Okay. If you enjoyed this, go check out our other episodes. Hopefully you liked what you heard here. And we do have movie podcasts too if you want to go listen to our movie podcasts. But that'll be it for this one. We'll see you next time. And yes, Hudson?
No.
And no, Hudson?
No. Him!